So I struggle sometimes knowing when I need to drink or not to drink. And for some people, this is much more difficult than you would expect, uh, because some people are really sensitive to how much water is in the body, because they need not the body's not as good as filtering out stuff, and they need to drink more water at times to filter out stuff. However, when they drink, if they drink too much, you can start feeling faint or sick also from that, uh, or just be going to the bathroom 24/7. Other people have just learned to ignore the symptoms of pain because they're confusing with other stuff, and still other people have sensory issues are not as good at or attention issues are not as good detecting it when they're dehydrated, which is a lot more common in the autistic and ADHD community and neurodiversity community in general. Some people are also not as good at vocalizing when, or in other ways communicating when they're dehydrated. And still, when you hydrate, different things have different hydration potentials. Everything hydrates, almost, except for if a drink is like 90% alcohol. Even alcoholic drinks usually hydrate until you get so sick that you start throwing up, and then or otherwise sick, and then you lose water through being that sick. And the headache is not caused by dehydration, like I had an argument with one person. It's caused by alcohol, actually poisoning. There's more than one cause of getting headaches and migraines and hangovers. You can get the same thing from bright, noisy lights that don't dehydrate you. You can get it from the stomach flu first. A bunch of things, but they're convinced it's water. But different things hydrate you differently. Water is one of the best things at hydrating you. Caffeinated drinks can be less in some cases than other ones. It also depends on how your digestive tract absorbs stuff. Some people, digestive tract absorbs water better. Some people absorb tea better. Some people flush out coffee more than other people. So it says how much you absorb the water, and other stuff in the water is different for different people. How much do they just flush it out? Some people are better at absorbing water really fast. Some people are slower at absorbing water. Caffeine can have different impacts on how you absorb stuff. Also, caffeine does make you pee more, but the added water compensates for that much more. However, during some sicknesses with dehydration, migraines, or liver diseases, liver problems, it can actually help you hydrate quicker in a way by making you pee more often, flushing out other chemicals and stuff faster. Other things is that sometimes when you're dehydrating, the fastest way to hydrate is something like Gatorade or Pediasure or other things that have other nutrients and stuff in them, because you've also lost a lot of electrolytes. You need to balance that with the hydration, and it also stabilizes your body faster, so you lose less moisture through diarrhea or vomiting or something like that. And that the stabilization is also an important fact. But hydration is complicated, and a way that we could maybe help people figure out better how well they're hydrated or not hydrated, I think, would be inventing a sensor. And this sensor or even maybe pre-existing sensors on Fitbits or tracking devices or smart clothes. I think Fitbits and tracking devices could easily incorporate this to measure approximately how hydrated you are. And one of the things is that the way they figure out how much stuff is in your blood for oxygen and stuff is they shine a light, and that goes in, and depending on how much oxygen there is, it absorbs more or less of the light, and they actually shine a couple different frequencies to get rid of noise in the data and pulse it. That's also how they can figure out your pulse. Some of these also have a little thing where they put a little tiny bit of electricity and measure the skin conductivity. Both of these things varies also with how much water is in it, because water helps transmit electricity. Water also absorbs light, but it also spreads out molecules that absorb other light, so it can make it both something more transparent, like if salt is dissolved in water, the salt molecules spread out and don't have a nice arrangement, so light can go more easily through it. Or water absorbs light itself, and you can see that in the microwave. It absorbs a lot of microwave. So adding the right, so either using pre-existing sensors and trying to see if we can extract the data from there, it's not best, or signing something that a light, like we always do, that's just made to detect water. And this would then notify you how much you hydrate, and you can also learn about your own hydration, how good you're actually at absorbing water. When do you lose a lot of water? Are you extra sensitive to the heat like me? And do you sweat an extra lot like me? Because that's just how I've been since I was a very little kid, at any weight, both skinny and overweight. On all these other little things. Well, thank you very much for listening to this video. I hope you found it interesting. Please leave a like and comment below if you have any ideas for future videos or any suggestions or anything at all. Thank you very much.